Hello, this is That Talking Podcast. I'm JJ Starr.
And I'm downtown Andy.
Welcome.
French fried potatoes.
We're here to talk and bring some civil discourse to an otherwise discordant world. It is Tuesday morning. Sorry. We mentioned last week that this one might be a little wacky, and so it is. Sorry we're coming to you late, but we're still coming to you. We're putting in the work, and thank you for doing the work for listening.
I'm dressed for one outing, but not another. I didn't feel like changing. I didn't really feel like cleaning up. I'm working off the effects of a new medication.
Yeah, I can see your lower eyelids are like this. That's what I do when
I look like I got hit in the face with a fire extinguisher.
No, you look fantastic. What? How do I look?
You look like you.
How you
Little
feeling?
things of makeup.
How you feeling?
I'm tired.
Yeah.
I'm always tired. When am I not tired? That is the motif of Andy.
This is the first day, and granted, an alarm did go off.
Look at you. This wonderful Dances with Wolves motif.
This, I gotta tell you, though, is the first time I think that we've actually slept in. And an alarm did go off this morning, but we said, fuck it.
For those of you who haven't figured out, I speak in movie quotes. So, you know. That is one of our love languages. But you know what's not one of our love languages?
What?
I'm not going to say the rules because the rules is one of our love languages. But while we're on the subject of the rules,
I was going to say,
let's knock that one out.
Our love language is not rules. No rules, just right is our love language. What is
that from?
I heard it on Monster Factory. I'm not sure what else.
No rules,
is
just
from.
right.
No rules, just right.
Somebody mentioned in the comments where that's from. My memory's shot.
But so we do have rules here in the bubble. Even on a Tuesday morning. On a Tuesday morning. Yep, we are here and we have rules.
Props.
We have our rules. 3 rules for the sake of civility. No judgment, nothing personal. Don't be a dick, please. All of those things. And
I will send you to the Shadow Realm.
We spent this whole weekend in Portland, Maine. Well, we spent a bunch of it in South Portland, Maine, too, because we went to the mall a few times.
My brain was leaning towards Nashville. I'm like, wait, no, that's...
No, we haven't gone to Nashville yet. Later on that. More on that later.
I'm looking forward to that.
I'm a little nervous about that because I've been through Tennessee, but I've never stopped in Tennessee.
Really?
Yeah.
I love Tennessee.
No, so I've never actually been to
I love
Nashville.
Tennessee and I love Maine. Like, it's funny because we talked to so many people who were just like, yeah, this place sucks. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's like,
no, it doesn't.
You have not seen the worst of the worst until you've lived in the scrotum that is Connecticut. Hanging
down at the bare bottom
because
of New England.
It is the midpoint between New York and Boston. Therefore, it makes it
the scrotum.
The gooch.
Just hanging down. But yeah, we spent the weekend. This past weekend was the Villanards Maine Tattoo Festival, and we had a grand old time. We're sore as fuck.
This went by so much faster than any other convention.
It did. Done. It felt like it went really fast.
It didn't help that I was playing games on my phone most of the time.
You were doing that. Yeah. You were doing that. I was working the entire time.
I worked.
No, I'm not saying like you didn't work. I'm saying that I normally, when we do these conventions, I have in the past brought like live painting to do, but it is such a bitch to have to pack everything up, plan it out, have the space for it, understand what I'm going to be doing and everything, and then I never bother to get it done.
Just you know what, you hit the nail with the dot work because it's so much easier.
Oh my god! And I got 8 pieces done live and sold one of them live, at least one of them. I think only one of the ones that I did live I sold this weekend.
So to give clarification, my wife was working on pieces during the convention, dot work, where she has a tattoo practice needle with a ballpoint pen that just, and is putting pictures pertaining to the text on pages from Stephen King books. Yeah. And you said you completed 8 pieces?
8 pieces I completed this weekend.
And people were really interested in those. I mean, not everybody, was raring to buy one.
Yeah.
But it was kind of cool to like watch that take shape in real time.
And it's funny because I started doing this project.
I feel like there's more Stephen King fans in Maine than anywhere else.
Well, Stephen King is local boy makes good up in Maine because he is a Mainer. And all of his books are set in Maine. At least all of the ones that I'm familiar with are set in Maine.
What was that thing we were listening to where they're like, oh, it was Mr. Deeds, and they were just like,
oh yeah,
Stephen King. My buddy had looked at Stephen King, and then he went
cross-eyed. He lost 200 pounds that night. But I started that project because of Blood and Ink, because once they switched it to a horror convention, I'm like, oh, I need more horror themed pieces. So I did the Universal Monsters tattoo pieces, and then I'm like, well, I'm gonna do Stephen King, because I had started a project where I took like a play script I did Biloxi Blues, and I was working on Into the Woods, but I lost all interest in it after a breakup, believe it or not. Who would break up with me? And right? So I'm like, what can I do that's horror themed? I'm like, I really like the idea of this project. What can I do that's horror themed? And I'm like, I have an idea. I'm going to do first edition Stephen King novels. And I went on
monster.
I know. Well, my original idea was
pages out of first edition.
But my original idea was to sell the book as a whole.
I know, I was there.
But I want too much for it. With the work that goes into it, not to mention the fact that it is a first edition, I'm just like,
It's not that you want too much for it. People are just cheap.
So I decided, it hurts.
There's so many people that walk around these conventions that, that don't have a lot of expendable cash.
They don't have walking around money.
And the walking around money they do have is for stuff either they can afford or they're aiming for like a long-term like goal piece. Like, I'm getting a major tattoo done at this thing. Or if I'm going to buy a piece of art, it's got to be something that really speaks to me. And, because I was the same way it took doing these conventions for me to appreciate the activity of buying art to appreciate. Like, I'm not the type.
You did that this time.
I'll get to that. I'm not the type for buying art pieces, like pieces to put up and appreciate, because I am like in the sense of like guitars, but those have a functional purpose to them. Like I don't, after watching you and several other people over the years go up to artists and be like, ooh, that really speaks to me. I'd love to have that hanging up on my wall in my house, and being a distant observer of that. This weekend was a rare occurrence for me to go up to somebody and be like, you know what? I like those prints that you have there. Personally, I'd love to have the originals, but I'm sure they're probably asking a lot for those, or maybe they're not even selling them.
Yeah.
But I saw these prints and I started chatting with this guy about, common interests and the stuff that he was doing. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to take a page out of my wife's book. I'm going to support a local artist. And I picked up some prints. Where are those, by the way?
They're still with the rest of my stuff. So
okay, we'll put them with the rest of my stuff.
Well, we'll unpack that later. We got in exhausted and late last night, so we didn't do any unpacking. You did laundry. You did way more unpacking than I did.
I did all the unpacking.
I found my glasses and my toothbrush. That's it. Everything else is done.
Because I did not want to leave it for while I'm kind of still on an adrenaline high, let's knock it out now. My car almost didn't start.
Your car did almost not start, and then I was really worried because our entire floor one smelled like
fumes.
Smelled like carbon monoxide. I'm like, we're all gonna die.
Because we took your car, and so my car had been sitting here for 4 or 5 days, and not being used, and my starter was already going. So it's like, uh-oh.
So that was a thrilling moment when we got back to find out that the car wouldn't start. But then it did, thank goodness.
I was just really looking forward to getting everything out and getting it done. And then that way we could just sit here and watch Mr. Deeds and eat pizza.
And that we did. That we did. But I want to finish what I was saying about the Stephen King prints. That
nobody cares. I'm kidding.
That was harsh. Wow, on a Tuesday morning, nonetheless.
That's what you get for putting it off to the last minute.
So
Stephen King prints.
I ripped the pages out of the books as neatly as possible, and I mounted them on mat board. And people love them. Yeah. A lot of people, especially in Maine, were like, "Oh my God, my mom is a massive Stephen King fan. My wife loves Stephen King. My boyfriend is a huge Stephen King fan." I'm just like, cool.
You can really tell because you'll know the people when they come up to the table and they scream avid reader.
I like talking to people about, and I like that people are like, "Oh, this combines all of my favorite loves." I'm like, me too. Oh no. But it was a lot of fun this weekend. It was a lot of fun.
I tried some new food for the first time.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. I like there was a I love that the venues provide like food and drink, but like, you know, first of all, it's way overpriced, but you're kind of stuck with that because there's really nothing close by to get unless you're getting a DoorDash.
Yeah.
And they had this taco truck with, you know, rice bowls and potato bowls and whatever. And what I was not expecting was that I was expecting the rice bowl to be like Mexican, you know, like you hear, you know, taco truck and you think Mexican tacos, rice taco, like whatever. It was the most Indian thing I've ever had.
Oh yeah.
The vindaloo or jalfrezi or whatever they call it, you know, loaded with like pickled vegetables and stuff like that.
So pickly.
And let me tell you something, that pickling lingered within my
it pickled you.
My tongue for hours.
It pickled all of us.
It was pretty good though. Or what's the other one? Masala, tikka masala. That's it.
The artists were all very, very friendly. I feel like everyone, everyone was very cool.
Butt,
No, we're not. Okay. Not on a Tuesday morning. Everyone was real cool. It was a lot smaller than I expected it to be, but it's one of the smaller events.
There were so few vendors as opposed to tattoo booths that we could count them on like two hands.
Well, because at least you are used to doing Blood and Ink, which is not just a tattoo convention. Now it used to be.
Well, it's not that I'm used to it because like, okay, so I've done 2 Blood and Inks with you and we did Mohegan before that.
Right.
And both of those are a mixture of the vendors and the tattoo booths.
Right.
This one was more, you know, concentrated on tattoo booths, which, you know, good. Okay, that's what it is. It's a tattoo convention.
Yeah.
I was just kind of hoping. I was hoping to get new glasses, a new hat, and new shoes, and you know, 2 out of 3.
You got 2 out of 3, and I got 1 out of 3. That was pretty cool. Thanks for the shoes. I had a good time. Did you have a good time?
Luton always be a good time.
Always be a good time. And now we have some downtime. Not really, because No,
let's not jump too far ahead because we're not done talking about the weekend.
I'm not done talking about the weekend. We talked about this, that you don't know when I'm going to finish speaking, so you just jump in. But then when I do it to you, you're like, you know, you cut me off an awful lot on that episode. You did it again!
But you do that to me too, so.
I wasn't suggesting that I didn't. But
relax.
You relax.
I'm very relaxed.
What the fuck was I talking about?
You were talking. Okay, so we were talking. You were saying that I was used to the conventions the way they are, and then you were going to talk about going forward, like something that's coming up.
So now I'm back to I'm back to custom time. I'm back into your regularly scheduled work program. So everyone who, you know, I've got probably another month of work to do. Shut up.
No, I'm envisioning the teaser already.
I'm envisioning finishing this sentence before I die. What was I talking about?
You're back to your regularly scheduled
work. So when I prepare for a convention like this, stop, I'm going to lose track again. I can't look at you.
Regularly scheduled programming.
So normally I spend a few months getting ready. I spend, you know, at least a couple of months really hardcore getting ready for a convention.
You sure do.
I do.
Panicking too.
Not panicking. No, not panicking. Just hell bent on being ready. I didn't panic for this one. I was just like, well, I have what I have, and if I don't have stuff, oh well.
But you've always like been on the worried side. You always
if there's
get
worry,
like that.
If worry is here, I'm usually on just this side of worry, but I'm not like panic stricken or anything. No. So normally after a convention, it's like, oh, now I can unpack. And I can just get back into whatever I'm going to do and then worry about the next one when the next one comes. Now in October, I didn't have that luxury. I didn't have the downtime because as soon as I got back from the convention, I had to start working on custom orders.
And commissions, yeah.
As soon as that ended, I had to start getting ready for the next convention. And then now that this one's over, I have to start getting ready for commissions again. I have to finish commissions again.
So you have a nice chunk of time.
So I've got a good portion of, that's October to, so if I was getting ready for the convention at the beginning of October, if I was getting ready for it at the end of July, okay? So I was starting at the end of July, let's say. So that through the end of the year into January, and now I'm going to be doing this work probably until the beginning of April.
Yeah, but you also have no idea what Darren may ask of you between now and then.
I know. Or anybody else for that matter. Because I want to get into.
You know what I think you should do?
I told the dude from Sparrow that I was going to contact him when my books opened up. So he's the last one on my list so far. So that's probably going to be like mid-April. So that's like
I'm just going to shut up and let you talk.
9 straight months.
This is all about you.
We were going to put a little bell.
No, we're going to put a
chest timer. So we show each other when we're ready.
This is civil discourse. We need to allow each other to speak.
Yes.
That has been the theme of this podcast.
Yes. I feel like we should give each other a signal. Like my signal will be this.
Listen, you have a Pikachu and I have a Millennium Puzzle. We'll just hold it up. Yeah.
What are you getting ready for?
Nothing.
No.
Fucking nothing. I don't need to get ready. I'm always ready.
What else did we do this weekend? That's a good
thing you said that because I was about to go on a tirade.
About what?
About the fact that I'm always prepared for anything that I may have, and so many people I work with aren't. Like,
do you think I am well prepared to do my job?
Yes.
Sweet.
I always think, because that's just it. You always have an abundance of material to bring with you.
Yeah.
It's just that, you seem to think that you need to have newer stuff or more recent stuff or current stuff. And I keep reminding you, just because you bring old stuff with you, it doesn't mean that it's old to everybody. Because you brought the animal decks to Blood and Ink this past October, and those were older because you made them the year before. Mm-hmm. But Darren didn't know that. And Darren took all of them.
Yeah. I'm going to make a new series of those, I think. It's going to be cool.
Just like how you painted the girls before this past October, and they didn't sell. But for all you know, when we go this coming October, they may all sell.
They may. They may. Yeah.
Like the thing is that, skate decks are a high ticket item. And, like we were talking before about people not always walking around with a ton of cash on them. Like, like if I didn't know you and I were going to one of these things, I don't know that I would bring $150, $200 in spending cash with me. I might bring like $50, because I don't know what I'm going to find. But then if there's something like high price that I have to have, like I'll run to the ATM.
Yeah.
And I think that's how a lot of people feel. But it's just like, you don't want somebody to look at one of your one-of-one decks and be like, I'd like to have that, and then like throw it somewhere where they kind of like forget about it. You want the person you want to have that deck is someone who's going to look at it every day and admire it, kind of like I do with the ones over here.
Right.
But
that's what I would like.
You're not going to find those people every day or as frequently as you'd like to.
But at the same time, I like having stuff like that with me to demonstrate, like, look at some of even if people don't buy it, it's like, look at some of the work I did. Like, that's why I put together a portfolio.
I love it. Yeah.
That's why I put together a book. Finally, I can't believe it's taken me this long to actually put a book together.
Well, now you have a very extensive repertoire to show off. Like,
by the end of this year, hopefully have another one.
And that's precisely why I was, harping on you all weekend about visibility. I took pictures of everything and put them up on my Facebook Marketplace. So that way the people who are traditionally looking at like my guitar stuff and trading card stuff are gonna be like, oh, there's custom artwork too. And it's like, that opens the conversation. If people, browsing by see that, be like, oh, you do custom, because how many people asked you this weekend, do you do custom work? I was like, of course you do custom work. You just gotta,
handful.
You gotta well, I mean, you did that dog deck for that one person. You've done this stuff for me. It's like, you'll work with people, but you have to flesh out the conversation first. But, knowing that custom work is an option, because like I talked to Ryan at his shop. He like, that's cool. I'd love to have a deck for the shop. You talk to the guy at Sparrow Restaurant. He'd love to have a deck to go with his other ones, like you're not against doing custom work.
No, of course not. I love custom work. it's always one of those, I don't know if it's imposter syndrome still, but it's one of those things that, like, when people ask, like, well, how much do you think a custom would run? And I'm like, I know how much I want to charge for it. But some little voice in the back of my head is like, don't make it too high. Don't make it too high because you're still a no name. So, it's like when certain people like certain people charge too much for their services,
like I'm getting requests for custom cards right now, and I'm at the point where I'm just, they're tacking on so many more things as it goes along, and it's just like, now I just don't want to do it at all, because you're just these people are being annoyed. It's like, listen, give me clear-cut instructions from the beginning and let that be it.
Like, there are projects that I would really love to do. Like, the sticker bomb deck that I did? I would love to do more of those. I wanted to do more of those for so long. And I would love to get them ready, But, like, they take so much work that the idea of how much money I would have to charge for them to even out, how much work went into them is one of those things that it's just like, is it worth it in the end to put the work into a piece that I have to recoup so much money from when no one is going to pay that price for it?
I just thought of something so funny.
Obviously.
You should put a little sticker on your book that says no substitutions, like a restaurant menu.
No.
Like that scene, I don't remember.
Like, anyone who orders something out of the book, they're like, oh, I would love something like that. It's like, well, that's the one you're going to get.
Yeah. I keep seeing the clips from that movie with Jack Nicholson. I don't remember what it is. It's the one he's sitting at the diner and he asks for the toast. And they're like, we don't have side orders of toast. He's like, bring me a chicken salad sandwich. Now hold the chicken.
I'm pretty sure that's As Good as It Gets.
No,
he's
too young for that. As Good as It Gets was when he was older. Yeah, he's a young man in this one.
Oh.
It keeps popping up in my feeds. I don't know what movie it is.
Neither do I.
Well, we'll find out eventually.
We'll have to find out eventually.
In the comments.
Yeah.
Oh, what else did we do? I mean, we talked to a lot of really nice people.
Yeah.
We talked to, like, we were just happy for anybody to stop by and just shoot the shit for 5 minutes,
And
where are you guys from?
Quite a lot of people.
Quite a lot of people wanted
Quite a lot of people.
Asked you about surfboards and snowboards.
Yeah. That worries me sometimes. It really does. Because, again, God forbid someone asks me legitimately, because I've had people be like, you could do this on a longboard, right? And I'm like, yeah, of course I can. Here's my card. Let me know what you want, what time, what your timeline is like and everything. We'll get it done for you. Well, how much do you think it will be? Well, I'd have to source the materials, but, probably X to Y dollars and everything. Oh, that's not that bad. Yeah, I'll definitely get in touch with you.
And they never do.
Never do. Oh. They never do. So anyone asking me, like, these guys asking me nice for, like, could you do a snowboard? It's like, I've never done a snowboard. And he's just like, and this one got me. Okay. This one dude who asked about a custom snowboard, hand-painted snowboard. And I said, well, I really can't price that out for you because I have no idea how much it would cost me. Like, when your coworker was like, could she do a snowboard? Like, could she, do my snowboard? It's like, he's already got one. He's already got one. So he knows exactly, like, this person, like, you can't just say, could you do a snowboard? It's like, well, if you're planning on like riding it, it's like, you have to pick it out because the curvature is different on them. The specs on them are so different. The length, it's like all of these things are so different. It's like, if you want me to just make one for you, yeah, I can do that. I can't tell you how much it would be because I'm going to buy the cheapest one possible, but it's also not wood. Like, this is fiberglass. So I would have to have the right tools to sand it down and then finish it also. And it's just like,
these people aren't necessarily going to pay you the price it would cost you to buy the tools. And
like, my telling someone, like, could be as much as $500. It's like, It's you don't know. I don't know.
I will give you a relatable example.
Gimme.
So I've known Chris Tatalius for 20 years at this point.
Who?
He's the guy who refinished my Flying Dave.
Okay. Yes.
And when I was a kid, he was the only person who'd ever worked on it. So when I wanted to get it refinished, I'm naturally bringing it to him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He does custom guitars. Okay. And he's increasingly expanded his business within he's done a new website and expanded his shop, and he makes really, really nice customs.
He customizes guitars or he builds them from scratch?
Both.
Okay.
But his built from scratch ones are very, very high quality, very nice. They're like art pieces. Like when I look at stuff that he does, I'm like, oh my God, like that's on par with the name brands that we all know and love.
Yeah.
Okay. And naturally, he charges for his and he should get it because he's been doing this his entire life.
Mm-hmm.
He's really good at what he does. And again, as an art piece, as as a player, I would love to invest the money one day to have him make something that's uniquely mine.
Yeah.
Okay. But then there's that voice in my head that always says, do I want to spend this much? Aren't I happy with the ones I already have? Like the name brand stuff that I've been playing my whole life. Will I play it that much? Will it sit around and collect dust? Do I even want to take it out because I'm afraid it'll get nicked or dinged or scratched?
Yeah.
But I'd like to say that eventually I will go to him and say, I want a custom.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to make me a custom because of everything that because of everything that I just said.
Yeah.
And he did a wonderful job, restoring mine because he used to have one.
Yeah.
And that's something we always talked about. Yes, a sponsor. Because again, I've known him, Chris, for, I essentially took his job because when I was a kid, he had left East Coast Music Mall to open his business. And after he left, they're like, okay, you're our new apprentice luthier. So then that's where I learned to do all
luthier.
Yeah. Craftsman of stringed instruments.
Okay.
So, but then I would still bring my stuff to him for him to have work on.
Well, you want to get it. I mean, not to say that you wouldn't, but you want it done right.
I do want it done right.
Yeah. I mean, that's just it.
I bring him the stuff that I don't trust to do myself.
I mean, that's the same thing that I say that, I won't do electrical work.
But the funny thing is that 20 something years later, he's still in business and East Coast is.
Yeah.
So
I do worry sometimes. That's the only thing that ever really worries me about being an artist. And I don't say that often. But I am. According to the federal government, I'm an artist. It's how I pay my taxes. Because I do that because I'm a good person. But it's the only thing that really worries me about being an artist is because I do not consider myself, and for as long as I've been doing this professionally, getting paid to do it and paying taxes on it, I have yet to consider myself, I don't want to say good enough, big enough to charge the prices that some people think I should be charging for my work. I probably undersell everything that I do. And I think I always have, to an extent.
I've always wondered, where anybody comes up with those numbers. Where do you get, it's one thing to base it off of your costs.
Yeah.
And then maybe, a certain percentage upcharge because of your work.
Mm-hmm.
But, when people put a value on anything that's, collectible or admirable, just in general, anything, I always wonder where the numbers come from.
I mean, it's got to be some sort of formula. I mean, for something that already exists in the world, like a collectible, right? Or an antique or something like that. I think you got to base it off of how many are there? How many are there? What condition is it in? Has it been, is it original or has it been restored kind of a thing? And then your upcharge. But then you've got things like if you're selling it somewhere, you have your overhead expenses and everything like that. For me, I don't think I charge for labor. I go off of cost of parts, and my upcharge is the labor. And then if I'm selling it online, there's an upcharge for shipping.
Well, I mean, that's just it. If you were incorporating the amount of hours you put into every piece, like, yes, your stuff should theoretically be a lot more than it is.
But it also none of it would be priced, comparably, because some pieces take me a day. Some pieces take me, a week. Some pieces take me 2 weeks. Some pieces take me 2 weeks, and some pieces take me a couple hours.
And then some koi fish take you years.
That was not based on how long that was not based on skill. That was based on down lazy. Yeah. That was a lack of interest in that. I stepped
on your slipper and I thought it was your foot.
Can you kick that to me?
Sure.
Because that's what I was trying to reach for before.
Hey, can you get that for me? Thanks a lot.
I'm like, I can't reach it. My feet are cold. All right. But yeah, I don't know what goes into it. And there are some pieces that I'm like, the very idea that like some people ask such exorbitant prices for their stuff. Like, I'm not familiar with antiques or anything like that. I'm not familiar with, the cards, the card currency that you exist in.
Like, I spent the weekend, hunting down guitars, and I've been telling you the whole time. It's like this one that I was looking at, like, 20 something years ago, it was $3,000.
Yeah.
And now, because of time and, scarcity, and now the person whose name is attached to it is dead, it's now running between $5,000 and $6,000. Yeah. And it's like, Jesus Christ, like, where did, like I've been eyeballing this Explorer over at Guitar Center in Danbury for a while. I remember when brand new, they were like $1,200.
Yeah.
They want $2,000 for this 3-year-old that's beat up and has dings and scratches and everything all over it. And I'm like, that is insane. So then I looked at what they're going for new. They're going for $2,500 new now. And it's like, where do you come up with that? Yeah. Like, has sourcing the materials and the craftsmanship really like gone up that much?
It makes me wonder.
Between 2008 and now?
Yeah, it does make me wonder. Like, I ask so much for like, the Anime Girl decks that I painted. Hand-painted pieces.
That's because they're hot.
One-of-a-kind hand-painted pieces, probably never to be reproduced. I don't think I'm ever going to offer reproductions of those. You want to because I love them so damn much.
Tell them about that couple that wanted to get one for their son.
Because they found all of his hentai searches on their computer. Oh, honey. You gotta, but I'm telling you.
And then I was like,
kid's 18.
If you don't buy it, then I get to look at it some more. He's like, you're not a very good salesman.
And that sounds icky. It sounds like it would be icky sticky.
Listen, if I want to look at hentai.
I know. But like, I ask so much for those pieces because of the amount of work that went into them. Yeah. Like, they're more expensive. They're on the more expensive side of anything that I've ever made because of the amount of work that went into them.
If you didn't put the tattoos on them, do you think you would charge like a lot less or a little less?
Probably a good amount less.
Yeah?
Yeah. Online, I think they're they're 140
right now.
Right now. I'm pretty sure online they're either 140 or 150. And if I didn't go into putting tattoos on them, I don't know, probably like 100.
And you're not going to vinyl print those?
No. I think I'm going to keep those as one of a kind just because they are. I love them so much. I really did enjoy making them, and I think they came out. It's some of my finest work, in my opinion.
Do you regret like going the vinyl route with some of them?
Nah.
You don't know? Okay.
Nah. Because there are those who, that I'm okay with making reproductions of certain things. It's like the canvases that, and when I've made a canvas and then I'll make a print of it, I'll make a linen print of it. And it's just like, well, it's like if you like the artwork, but you don't want to pay the price for the canvas, it's like, okay, fine. But then there are people who really like the artwork and, the idea of limiting myself to just one. I want to afford myself the opportunity to create recreations of the work that I'm comfortable with.
Like
but not everything is going to be able to be a reproduction.
We talked to some people who were intent on having like a one-of-one work,
Yeah. And I think that that's fantastic. But I think about, like, I have that canvas, that huge canvas that's up in our bedroom. of Alice in Wonderland that I bought from a professional artist. And he told me that piece is a 24 by 36 hand-painted oil canvas. Took him...
That's oil paint?
I believe so, yeah.
Wow.
I want to say he told me maybe 10 hours to do.
Wow.
Yeah.
He really did use the wet on wet technique.
He asked me for $125 for that thing. And I was like, shut up. I'm like, there's no way you only want $125 for this.
Even I would say that's a little low.
And I was like, honey, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, there's
we had worked conventions together. We'd seen each other and stuff. He knew I was an artist.
For those on audio or video, if you could see this piece, I think anybody would look at that and think 125 is too low.
I'm like, that's way too low. But that
for
was
the amount of detail.
But that's just it, is that he's not putting in millions of hours of work into this because he's got that talent, Yeah,
you can just whip through it.
Exactly. So I understand that he doesn't feel the need to, ask exorbitant prices for that, but it's worth much more than that.
But also take into consideration anybody listening to this who, if you put that in front of them, who's not an art appreciator, they're going to look at that and be like, 125, I'll give you $50 for that.
And I would smack them right across the face. I'm like, how dare you?
Because those, again, there are people on the other side of that fence, like how I used to be, who aren't as, frequently exposed to this world where, they see what goes into everything and I developed the appreciation over time. Before you and I got together, I didn't have really an appreciation for canvas art.
Yeah.
My appreciation, was limited to Bob Ross, stuff and things like that.
When I see, it's like when we do Blood and Ink, and because BAM is there and everything, they have a lot of people who do skateboard prints and stuff like that. And you have asked me, do I think that they're competition? And my answer is always, no, I don't. Well,
because they're not doing one of one.
Exactly. They're not hand printing anything. They're not hand painting anything. They're creating more than likely a digital image and then having it printed. Even my vinyl prints are hand done because I literally do it by hand. Each one I do by hand.
Well, the reason that question came up was because, for example, this past weekend, you were the only one selling decks.
Yes.
Okay, which was nice.
Yeah, it was.
But when we do conventions where there are other people selling decks of any kind, I ask that question because they're obviously charging way less. And I feel like if somebody's going to look at your booth and their booth and be like, okay, how much money do I have in my pocket? How much money am I willing to spend this weekend? I'm going to go with that one because that's more affordable.
It does make me question whether or not in situations like that, I should price match. But there is only so much I can drop the price of something when, because you're talking about the difference between handmade and factory made.
Listen, you went out of your way to price match in the sense that you were giving away merch. You were severely discounting merch that you bought and paid for years ago by including the option to buy at a discounted rate with any other purchase.
You saw how much in discounts we gave away this weekend.
Yeah.
You saw the numbers.
You gave away wristbands, you gave away stickers, you gave away pins, guitar picks. You essentially gave away t-shirts and hoodies. And that's the thing that got me, was because, we're at the point where we just want to get rid of the hoodies because they're taking
up so much space.
But you were charging $15 a hoodie, 5 with any other purchase, and it's like, to anybody who's a hoodie enthusiast such as myself, it's like, are you kidding me? Whereas you go to see a band on tour, they're charging $60, $70, $80 for a hoodie, and your hoodies are comfortable.
Yeah. But that's just it, is that you talk about visibility. There are things that I am willing to compromise on for the sake of visibility. And in giving away a lot of that stuff this weekend, that increases my visibility. Paying the premium for a table at these conventions allows me to expand my market. And it's like, these are the things that I'm willing to eat.
Even if your merch winds up in a thrift store, because how many people do
it has?
Wait, for real?
I'm not even kidding you.
Where?
One of my criminal shirts somebody sent me, there was listed on Depop.
I don't know what that
is. it's a thrifting app.
But we know so many people who regularly go to like Savers and Goodwill and whatever because, you know, it's not necessarily they want to buy cheap clothing. They that's their choice of hunting.
Well, that's like I've said, I'm like, should we take like a small amount of like all of the merch and just bring it to Savers or Goodwill and donate it so that it's in there?
No.
I'm like, but I don't want to do that. I'm not at that point yet.
I'm just glad I got some free t-shirts because now like I have very comfortable, you know, Love Hard t-shirts to wear.
I mean,
and I rep the brand.
I was very excited because we brought a full bin of merchandise. And by merchandise, I mean apparel. So we brought a size run of hoodies. We brought several t-shirts. We brought the remainder of the booty shorts and one of the t-shirts that was almost sold out. And I sold out a lot of that stuff. And I'm just like, yes, fucking finally. That Paper Dolls t-shirt that I painstakingly designed in 2015, 16, along with the one that you're wearing. Now, I kick myself a little bit because, you know, we were limited on space. We didn't know what the traffic would be like this weekend. So the one that you're wearing, I did not bring. I did not bring it with me. But the Paper Dolls t-shirt it's for anyone who's never seen it. It's a row. It's a, you know, a row of paper dolls. For anyone who doesn't know what Paper Dolls is, it looks like a bunch of people holding hands. And these are teddy bears. And they're plain. And then right in the middle of one is a tattooed teddy bear. And covered in and it was the most expensive piece of merchandise I've ever printed. It's on a premium blank t-shirt. It's a super comfortable thing and it's full color. So this is actually the most expensive thing that I have ever printed as far as merchandise goes.
The fact that you went the extra step to make sure your stuff was printed on comfortable, you know, cloth, like that's a big sell. Because like I can't tell you how many shows I've been to where I've wanted like a tour shirt or, you know, just the band's t-shirt or whatever, and they give you that like Gildan like really thick heavy cotton. It's like I don't want to fucking wear this because chances are I'm gonna be wearing it most like during the summer or even in the winter if it's like under a hoodie or something. But it's just not comfortable to the touch. And, you know, like I sweat a lot. So it's like.
Now, when I first printed all of this stuff, when I had it printed, my thought was I want it to be, I know. My thought was I want it to be premium so that I can upcharge because that's where my business sense was at that point was if I have premium shit printed, I can charge more money for it. I've brought these shirts to so many different events and no one really wants them. I was blown away by the way these people were like, oh my God, that's so cute. Oh my God, I want that. The fact that people wanted a white t-shirt also blew my mind.
Because you're not like a huge name yet, but you know, we're working on it. Like,
but that's just it. I thought it was so cute that people actually wanted it.
Like we didn't make $1 million this weekend, but we had a good time.
We had a good time and we made money.
You know,
which if that was the point, then I give ourselves a good pat on the back.
Like so many people that came up to me like while you were walking Sadie or in the bathroom or whatever were just like, oh, you do this stuff. I'm like, no, it's all my wife. I just carry this stuff. Like, you're such a good husband, good man.
You are. And it was just, you know,
it's still, I've said it a million times. It still does not feel like work.
I'm glad it doesn't feel like work.
It's like getting paid to go on vacation.
I'm glad it doesn't feel like work to you. No. It always feels like work to me. But, you know, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life.
And speaking of repping, you know, I had my jacket with my patch, the band patch, facing outwards so people could see. And then, sure, I mean, because, you know, we met a lot of presumably trans people and, burlesque and indie and, you know.
There were a lot of alternative
types
folks there this
walking
weekend.
Around and like, so they pointed out my patch like, oh, I love the Bullet Club. I'm like, yeah, it's you know, who we stole it from. And then I had a stack of business cards on me with our QR code and hand them like, this is my band. You know, we do wrestling shows, we do burlesque shows. You know, we do real well with the alternative audience. Like, check us out.
I think that, you know, this was our first, certainly mine. This was our first foray into this particular sect of this industry. there are plenty of artists, tattoo artists specifically, that I know that they absolutely refuse to do the convention circuit. They refuse. They think that it is a waste of time, that it's just, not even a cash grab.
Because
but like
what do the awards
grab.
really mean?
Exactly. Yeah. Because that's just it, is when you put on your website, like, award-winning artists, it's like, it sounds nice, but it doesn't necessarily get you more business. No. If you're a good artist, you get the work.
If anything, it may make people think that, they have all these awards, they're
more expensive.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, I can't tell you how many times people were just like, go to Peter Tat, and then I heard about what they were charging while they were still open. I was like, I can't afford that. Like,
but this is my, this name, Villain Arts, for at least the last decade, for me, has been like a pipe dream. I'm just like, I can't do these conventions. They're far away. They're expensive. They're gonna, cost me money and everything like that. And I'm just like, I can't do it. This was our first toe dip into the world, and I'm glad that it was a smaller show. Because I think that if we had like dived into like Philadelphia, I think then I would have panicked.
Well, they're going to Chicago now, right? Because I started following them, and then I did all the ads, and I think Chicago's coming up. Yeah.
So that's one of those.
I'd love to follow them around.
And everyone asks me, they're just like, are you doing this? Oh, are you going to do that? I'm like, no, because I have to create more work in order to do more shows. Like, that's why we're spacing them out as far as we are. But think about it, because Nashville is in August. If, God forbid, Blood and Ink is at like the end of September this year, I'm fucked. I'm going to have to start now to make sure that I have enough work for both of those.
But you know what? If you end up bringing anything back to Blood and Ink this year that you brought last year, that might catch people's attention, because they may look at it and remember it and be like, you were here last year. Like, we're here every year.
Yeah.
But the stuff is still here. So now if you want it, buy it.
That actually happened to me when, back before Blood and Ink was Blood and Ink, when it was just the Westchester Tattoo Con. I brought a piece with me that I had designed as a drum head. So it was like a 20 by 20 canvas with a circle and this image, this graphic in the middle of it and everything, full color, beautiful work. I really think that I did a good job with that. That was one of my first large pieces that I did. And I brought it in like 2015. I brought it to the first convention I ever did at the Westchester Tattoo Expo. And it got attention, like, oh, that's cute. And there was a dude there who was a tattoo artist, and he was there, and he's just like, oh, I really like that. I might come back for that. Okay. He didn't come back for it. And it's like, well, bummer. It went back home with me. It hung back up in my hallway. 2016 rolls around. I bring it back. That Sunday, the last day of 2016, the dude who was tattooing in 2015 was there again. And he's just like, thank God you still have that. And he bought it from me. I don't know where it went, but it's out there somewhere.
Like, speaking on visibility, like, I said this to a million people this weekend, that, like, I didn't even know about these things until we got together, because, like, you're on the radar for this sort of stuff, because this is your thing, but they're never in my feeds. And if they are, like, I never noticed them.
It's nice now because originally I had gotten, a bunch of years ago, I had gotten really down because I did them with somebody in 2015 and 2016. And from 2017 through 2019, okay, I did them by myself because it was hard enough trying to focus on doing a good job, being personable, trying to look busy, trying to look professional and everything. And it was you talk about panic. Like, I was very insulated at that point. I was like, I have to bring work with me to look busy. Otherwise, I'm going to look like a loser because I'm here by myself and no one's buying my shit and all of this stuff and everything. And then 2018 and 2019, I actually did pretty good by myself. Then COVID hit and it stopped. 2021 rolls around, 2022, you and I are together, and I say, I want to try this convention. And that's when we went to New England and Mohegan Sun.
Well, you also don't really go along with like the band festivals or the band shows like you used to. I mean, because that's essentially how,
I don't want to, I don't want to do that anymore. Talk about a waste of money.
I mean, unless you know people who are just like, yeah, go ahead, set up a booth.
But we went to Mohegan, we went to New England, and it really didn't pay off. And we had a decent location. There was a good amount of foot traffic, relatively, because it seemed to me really slow. And we did not recoup. And my brain after that one said, maybe this is not what I'm supposed to be doing. Maybe this is not my niche. Maybe I need to, move, not just expand into other fields. Maybe I need to just quit this altogether and do something completely different.
Let me ask a potentially unpopular question.
Uh-oh.
Okay. I don't know that I've ever asked you this before.
What do you got?
So that New England Tattoo Expo that we did in 23 was right around the time that Roe v. Wade got overturned. Mm-hmm. And you did 3 very large canvases that all said no masters on them.
Mm-hmm. With a big uterus in the middle of it.
And you did prints of them too. Now the prints sold, some of them, but we still have the. Do you feel like anybody may have walked by our booth, saw those canvases, and thought like, I don't want to buy from them?
It's possible. And this is why I don't create a lot of alienating pieces. And this is why I am in the camp of not all art needs to be political.
Because, I mean, I believe that you created those not with the intention of alienating anybody, but to encourage people to be like, you know what, this is a message that needs to be spread. Yes. And,
That was a passion project. I don't do a lot of those. But that was a passion project, was to do that series of canvases. And they are available on the web store if anybody is listening to this and interested in something. Because
I'll be honest with you, I feel like if I didn't know you and I walked past those, I might feel a little offended.
Well, I did not have a lot of work to bring to that show. I didn't have a lot of work. I didn't have the animal decks. I didn't have a lot of work to bring to that show.
No, but we filled our booth space.
We did fill our booth space.
Yeah.
I
know. I helped with it.
Yeah. But I over the last couple of years have been dipping my toe into bigger and bigger things and making more pieces and really like trying my damnedest to get them in front of people. And I have officially convinced myself that I'm doing the right thing, that I'm on the road to Rhode Island.
Well, because we've had a lot of conversations about pandering, and I know it's not the most ideal thing to do.
Yeah.
But I mean, because again, it was not this past Blood and Ink; it was the one before, where we brought the decks that you made me and showed off to people, and it caught so many people's attention. And they were asking questions, but then, as you've said, that's not your style. That's not something you want to do regularly. But people like it, and then you have to ask yourself the question: am I going to compromise on this for the sake of visibility, or am I going to stick to my gut?
Hence the book. It's in the book.
It's in the book.
If someone sees it and they're just like, "Holy shit, I need one,"
well, you can't have mine.
Then I will say, "'Tis a custom. You must order a custom." I will not spend 2 weeks a pop working on these things because I would have to sell them for at least $300 each. Mm-hmm. And what is the point of wasting 2 weeks at a time to create maybe 3 or 4 pieces that will literally just take up space?
And that's why I said maybe do vinyl prints, and I know it's mine, but
that I won't do. Like just with the anime girls, I don't want to diminish the one of one status of certain pieces. I won't do that.
But it may increase the desirability for the one of one.
Maybe I'll make the little fingerboards of them.
You'd sell a lot of those.
Maybe I'll make the little fingerboard stuff on.
Listen,
maybe
as I said this week, like I'm trying to throw things against the wall for the sake of how, because this whole show, this is all you. Like I really feel like I don't do enough.
I wish, like I said while we were there, I wish that I had more work for you to do. Like, once everything is set up, it's like, I don't know what I can ask you to do.
But you also don't harp on me for playing my game, so thanks.
As long as
I'm
not going to lie, it gets to me. But again, I don't have anything else for you to do, so what am I going to say? Well, sit on your hands for 8 hours a day or 12 hours a day. I'll go get the
dog's water.
Yeah, it's like, you go ahead. You do that. And when I need you to bark, you bark for me.
Hey.
Like a carnival barker, not like a dog.
Well, I ran out.
I mean, the dog also does her part because she's there to attract. She's there to attract people. Well, we'll have them for the next one.
Oh man, so many people were so excited to see her.
Yes, I mean she is our main attraction.
Can you imagine if we brought a pen of puppies?
Oh God,
everybody would hang out.
We're gonna sell Love Hard puppies. I'm probably gonna make a Love Hard onesie for her, or at least a back patch or something, so she can rep.
I think from now on we need to start charging people to pet her.
Well, listen, we had a tip jar.
You could pet her, but you have to buy something.
We literally had a tip jar because it was her birthday this weekend. We had a tip jar on the table that said all the tips go to the dog, and she made bank.
Yeah,
she did. She made bank this weekend, so she did it for herself.
This was a fun talk.
Anyone out there listening, tell all your friends, support local artists, support me. And just do your best to remember that when people create something, it is work. It's work. So don't scoff when they ask for payment for their services.
Compensation.
Yeah. It's fair. Fair is fair. And if you think they're overpriced, keep it to yourself.
I mean, that's just it. Everybody has to start somewhere.
Exactly.
Even the most well-known of names started at the very beginning.
Yeah.
Nobody starts out on top.
Nobody starts out on top.
There's nobody
you
worth
can work your way up
on
there.
top.
You can absolutely work your way up there, and that's what we're doing. So thank you for listening to this podcast, and thank you to all of our new listeners, because I know several people who saw us this weekend are now following our podcast, and I appreciate every single one of you.
That's another thing. So the last couple of conventions, we've had our podcast episodes on repeat playing at the table.
Mm-hmm. So you can see all that weird shit we do.
It's funny because like every time I glance over, I could see my hair changing in real time.
Yeah.
It's like, I've bald at this one.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got hair at this one.
Oh, it was good. But thank you. And thank you again to everyone who came out to support us this weekend. We love you and appreciate all of you. Find us on Instagram, DT Andy and JJ Star with 2 R's. You can email us at dtandyandjjstar@gmail.com with comments, questions, concerns for our well-being, conversation starters, and enders. And as we close out season 2 here in a few weeks, let us know if you would like to participate in a conversation sometime. We would love to go into season 3 with some guest speakers. That's a weird way of putting it, but why not? You can also find Love Hard Art on Instagram. You can find Coat of Arms Tattoo on Instagram, and find them at the New England Tattoo Expo at Mohegan Sun in Uncasville.
Uncasville.
Is it in Uncasville?
Yes.
Mohegan Sun Casino in Uncasville, Connecticut. They will be there April 17th through 19th doing tattooing and cosmetic tattooing. Get in touch in case you need an appointment. I know that they're still looking to book a few slots, so definitely get in touch, and maybe we'll see you there. Who knows? Maybe we'll go for a day and wander around. You got some shit going on.
I do.
You have a show in 2 weeks.
Yeah. So Tax Collectors and Harlots, we got our February show rescheduled because of one of the storms.
Yeah.
It is now Sunday, March 15th at Sugar Hollow Tap Room in Danbury, Connecticut. We were playing with Trust Fund Rejects and I think 1 or 2 other bands.
Yeah.
And Nerve Endings.
And another one.
And same times, same setup, same schedule, same everything. So March 15th.
5 p.m.
Yeah, I think we're still on at 5 p.m.
I think so, yeah.
We just got asked to do an April show at Cherry Street. More details about that later. We've got a couple
a lot of shit
shows in, I think, June and July.
Yeah.
June. There's definitely a June show at Dead Language in Hartford.
There's a July one too.
There's another one, and then October we're doing another show at Cherry Street. The shows are coming in, and if you want us on your bills, please contact us, and we'll get that ball rolling.
Yes, follow Tax Collectors and Harlots on Instagram. You can see the whole schedule posted there, and that's it. Thank you for your help this weekend, and thank you for your help with this podcast, and for just and for getting up on a Tuesday morning.
Thank you for getting my ass to Maine.
Yes,
and thank you for sitting around and watching me, revel in the Maine Mall and the Maine Guitar Center.
The Maine Mall. We took the dog to the Maine Mall. She had a good time.
Luton always be a good time.
And that's a full lid from the three of us at That Talking Podcast. I'm JJ Starr.
And I'm Downtown Neighbor.
We'll talk to you later.